This is a stimulus update and daily news report. Got some important update to share with you with the Senate back in session. What is going to be done? I'll let you know through a video clip from Chuck Schumer what he plans to get done before the midterm elections. Also, Chuck Schumer put in a tight position because Chuck Schumer promised Joe Manchin a deal if Joe Manchin voted for the Inflation Reduction Act. I'll let you know what drama is going on there. 8 days left to apply for the $1,000 checks. We'll go over this article for stimulus check, why Joe Biden could make it happen, and there's a surplus in Florida which could save the average Floridian up to $550 with Governor DeSantis' plans there, and I'll give you some other important updates as well. Hope you're having a terrific Thursday. If you appreciate the fact-based, fast-paced updates, hit the like button down below. So Governor DeSantis announces new proposal that could expand more discounts on tolls. So there's a big $20 billion surplus in Florida, and what is being done about it? Well, other states plan to give out stimulus checks, stimulus provisions, other things like that. In Florida, he is going to give out big discounts on tolls. So basically, what it comes down to is the proposal could affect 750,000 Floridians who frequently commute and save an average commuter about $550 a year. So for the average Floridian, or actually not even the average Floridian, for 750,000 Floridians with the surplus, so far there could be more done with the surplus. $550 a year is the savings. And so that's actually, Florida governors wants to expand toll relief program. Another article here just basically on that. I'm not going to get too much into that since it doesn't affect everybody. Also, this article right here, for stimulus check, why Joe Biden could make it happen. I saw this headline, really interested in what was said here, or what could be said here. Would Biden ever consider a forced stimulus check? Expert analysis of what could happen. So, could Joe Biden make a forced stimulus check happen? Not really. So it's a good headline and it gives some hope, but it is false hope. Just want to let you know what's being said here. There is no shot at a fourth stimulus check right now. What has been said in the past is we'll see what members of Congress propose, but those are not free, talking about other checks and other stimulus provisions. At this point, really our only shot at a federal stimulus check is if an official recession is announced, the economy goes bad, and then recession federal stimulus checks are given out. The past recession stimulus check, or the past recessions we had was 2001, 2008, and stimulus checks were given out both those recessions. So a third recession stimulus check is possible, but we're seeing it more on a state-by-state level. Just want to give you the truth, let you know what's going on, and be completely honest, not hype it up. I want to let you know exactly what's going on. If you appreciate that type of honesty, how I get straight to the point, let you know the facts, subscribe to the channel for more videos like that. Just want to let you know what's going on despite headlines like this, why Joe Biden can make a forced stimulus check happen. Not at this point. We're not there yet. But state stimulus checks are happening, and they're going to happen a lot more, especially with the budgets and the surpluses coming out. Depending on the state, there's more stimulus coming out. I'm seeing that a lot more. So deadline to apply for $1,000 one-time payment just 8 days away. So this is going on in the state of Maryland. Have just days left to apply for student loan debt relief tax credit, giving them up to $1,000. The deadline for that is September 15th and is intended to help people living in the state who took out student loans to pay for college. Even if an applicant did not graduate college, he or she can still be eligible for the tax credit. So this is just a tax credit, not related to the overall big federal student loan forgiveness program, just for the state of Maryland, up to $1,000 there. And what is going to be done for the American people on a federal level? What is promised? What's going to be done? I'm going to get to that in a moment, but when we talk about Chuck Schumer pledges to pass Manchin deal despite Democratic opposition. If you weren't aware of this, I'll fill you in. So you remember the Inflation Reduction Act, which was originally the Build Back Better, trimmed down by Joe Manchin. Somehow Joe Manchin became the poster boy for the Inflation Reduction Act, making all of the Republicans upset. And Joe Manchin said, hey, this is a great deal. We should all go for it. But there was a catch to that. Joe Manchin wasn't just doing it out of the kindness of his own heart. There was a deal. So Joe Manchin... where is it here? All right, so Chuck Schumer promised a side deal on permitting reform. Basically, permitting that would benefit Joe Manchin, like permitting, all right, here's more on it. Chuck Schumer said he will put permitting reform legislation that would speed the development of fossil fuel and other energy projects in the stopgap spending measure Congress needs to pass to keep the federal government funded beyond September 30th. So basically, what's going on here is this permitting deal will speed up fossil fuel projects. We all know that Joe Manchin has a hand in the fossil fuel industry, the coal industry. So basically, this is going to speed up a lot of projects because of Joe Manchin, and it's going to go into that big bill. Now, it puts Chuck Schumer in a tough position because Chuck Schumer promised Joe Manchin this. A lot of Democrats don't want to give Joe Manchin this, but Chuck Schumer seems to be going through with this promise, and the Inflation Reduction Act already passed. Democrats in the House are saying, hey, we don't want to give Joe Manchin what he wants. We already got what we want, and that's it. Throw Joe Manchin under the bus. So we're going to see what happens here. It's going to go, this big bill is going, or this permitting bill is going to go into the big bill, the stopgap, omnibus, whatever you want to call it, for the budget of the year, which is probably going to be extended and extended. It's going to be a big headache, but I'll keep you updated on what's going on that, and I'll simplify it. But here is Chuck Schumer talking about what has been done and what will be done in the Senate.
President, and I'd like to welcome you and all of my colleagues back from the August work period. I hope everyone had the chance to travel across their states, meet with their constituents, listen to their concerns, and share all the major accomplishments the Senate secured over the last few months. Indeed, the Senate gavels back into session after a season of immense productivity. When Democrats assumed the majority in 2021, I promised we would leave no stone unturned in tackling the biggest challenges facing our country. 20 months later, Democrats have delivered on our promises. We promised to lower costs for the American people in the wake of crippling inflation. So we passed the Inflation Reduction Act to reduce energy costs, reduce health care costs, expand tax breaks for working and middle Americans. We also promised to take on big pharma and lower prescription drug costs. So we passed historic legislation to lower insulin costs for seniors on Medicare, cap out-of-pocket expenses, and empowered Medicare to finally be able to negotiate drug prices. This for the first time ever, long sought after by many Congresses, accomplished by this one. We promised to take on entrenched oil interests and get tough on climate change. And so we passed the largest clean energy package ever, by a long margin, by the way. Thanks to our work, Americans will see their energy bills go down, their savings go up, all while we created millions of new, good-paying jobs and finally dealt with climate change in a very significant and real way. We also promised to bring manufacturing jobs back to America and get tough on adversaries like the Chinese Communist Party. So we passed the CHIPS and Science Act, the largest investment in manufacturing jobs and science research since the aftermath of World War II. And of course, we promised to take on the NRA, as you well know, Mr. President, and protect our kids from gun violence. So we passed the first gun safety bill since the Brady Law 30 years ago, which I was proud to author when I was a member of Congress. Now, none of these accomplishments were easy. They demanded immense patience and persistence above all. But for anyone who thought Washington was broken and couldn't do big things, this Democratic majority has shown that real change is possible. And the results speak for themselves. Jobs across the country remain up. Americans are going back to work. Our supply chains are healing. In fact, freight rates on ocean trade channels have dropped by 60% since January. And as gas prices continue their 2-month drop, we're seeing evidence that inflation might be starting to ease up. Of course, the work isn't done. As we begin this short work period, we have several high-priority items that demand our immediate attention. Before this work period concludes, the Senate must come together to pass a continuing resolution to extend government funding beyond the September 30th deadline. Last week, the administration sent us a request for a number of funding items they'd like us to work on, from aid to Ukraine, pandemic relief, and other items. This process, of course, needs to be bipartisan. Democrats are going to work in good faith to avoid even a hint of a shutdown, and it is my expectation that our Republican colleagues will do the same. We'll also work this month to confirm even more of President Biden's judicial nominees. Later today, the Senate is scheduled to vote to advance the nomination of Judge John Lee to serve as Circuit Court Judge for the Seventh Circuit. If confirmed, Judge Lee would make history as the first Asian American judge to sit on the Seventh Circuit, joining the proud company of other Biden nominees who are making our courts fairer and more representative of our great country. A graduate of Harvard and Harvard Law School, Judge Lee was unanimously confirmed by this chamber a decade ago to serve as a district judge. In his time on the bench, he's proven himself to be impartial, fair-minded, and committed to the rule of law. Judge Lee will be the first of many judicial nominees that we will advance this month and beyond, because now more than ever, the Senate must make judicial confirmations a top priority. We have a lot of work to do in the Senate to keep improving the lives of the American people. So in the coming weeks, let us continue with the same vigor, the same determination, the same persistence that has made this one of the most productive Senate sessions the Senate has seen in a long, long time. Finally, I want to say a few words on another monumental development that happened over the August recess: student debt cancellation. For the past 2 years, I've repeatedly stated that with a simple flick of a pen, President Biden could lower costs for millions of Americans by canceling their student debt. Everywhere I go, student debt is always front of mind for many of my fellow New Yorkers, as it is for millions across the country. There are many who don't have student debt, many. But for those who do, it's deep. This is not just one of 10 issues. This is the issue that really, really bothers them and motivates them. To have to wake up in the middle of the night saying, how am I going to make that $400 payment next month?
What are your thoughts on Chuck Schumer? Do you think, do you agree, disagree? Do you think a lot of stuff is going to get done that promised? Should there be more type of financial aid that should be done from the Senate and the Democrats before potentially losing control of the Senate and the House, which is a possibility? Let me know your thoughts on that. And that is all the news that I have for you today to hopefully cheer you up a bit. Here's my daughter Bella's tip of the day.
Hi guys, this is Bella. This is the tip of the day. I want to tell you the one thing you should do for when you're feeling down and you want to follow your wishes. Then do whatever you want. It's a free country here. You can do whatever you want. So bye guys. Have a good night or a good day.
Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate all of your support. So had a good time yesterday. Celebrated Bella's birthday again with some family members and my daughter Kalea. So I don't know if you saw a video clip from Bella's birthday, but Bella wanted her face to be smashed in the cake. So then when Kalea gave Kalea, my younger daughter, a piece of cake, she smashed her own face in that cake. It was just a big mess. It was really funny. But anyways, hopefully you have a great rest of your day. If you want to check out any of my other videos on my other channels, you can click right up here. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Be safe. Thank you for watching.